doing it for the fame.
Nick.
Hey, what's up?
Aren't you doing it for the likes?
Nah, I ain't doing it for the likes.
Oh, okay. Hold up. So you doing it for the pussy?
Nah, I mean, yeah, no, I ain't doing it for that.
Okay, then what are you doing it for?
Man, I do it for the culture. I just be looking weird with this big ass head and skinny body, so I feel like I need some more pounds on me so that to balance it out. So it's like, oh yeah, when I fill out a little bit more, yeah, this ball shit gonna work out.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So you how long? So you've been going ball since the '90s, early '90s?
Yeah.
You just committed to it?
Yeah.
Your folks ain't never give you shit?
Nah, not at all. It helped us.
But you know why I
get it? Like it helped us get it.
Right.
So they wouldn't.
You know, I did it the first time though because I had a barber who kept fucking up on my line. And the shit was so crooked and whatever, and I got so like obsessed with my line because like my corners is like fading, is kind of weak. So I was just like, man, you know what? I'm just gonna go ball and start over, just do a redo. And then I did it, and I was like in school, and everybody was like, "What the fuck did you?" And I was like, "Hey man, starting over, man. What you gotta do?"
It's so funny. I had one bad.
Turn to the mic.
I had one bad haircut.
Yeah.
Story when I was trying to rock the shag.
Okay, you had a shag?
Listen, man, let me tell you the horror story behind it, right? So my fam took me to my peoples that cut hair, and I always wanted a shag. For some reason, I was stuck on it for some reason.
All right, that's the new addition. Bobby Brown,
right.
Ralph, yeah.
Yo, not the ducktail or nothing, but the shag,
okay,
right?
Got you.
So they felt bad. They didn't want to tell me I didn't have enough hair to get a shag. So they got the blow dryer and blew it out, right? So I leave and I'm with the fellas and I'm combing my shag and everything, right? And I'm ready, go to school the next day, everything fresh. I wake up, my shit's gone.
Your shit is gone?
Because it was blew out and it padded in. Like once you lay on it's gone,
fucked
right?
it all up.
Man, I screamed. I looked in the mirror and screamed. My mom was like, what's wrong? My shag is gone. I was like,
bring it back.
Oh, yo, I was hurt.
So you shaved before you went to school?
I was hurt.
You had to go to school like that? Or you just wore a hat?
Nah, it was just...
It is what it is.
It was just whack. It was whack. I couldn't do nothing about it. I was hot, though.
That's our hair swapping stories, you guys. So welcome to another episode of For the Culture podcast, man. I'm your host, Nick Alexander, man. We are on episode number 29. Our co-host, Amarie Lee, is out again. We miss you, Amarie. Come back whenever you out here working, so that's always good. Today with me, man, I got my mans from New York. He's a coach. He conducts clinics, works with kids for basketball, man. You know, this is my guy. He comes and supports my LA shows while I'm out here, and we just connected on that being from New York tip, and just a very cool dude, man, and does a lot of giving back and has programs. So I wanted to bring him on today and talk about it, man. Welcome to the show, my man James Christian. How you doing, brother?
Thank you. I'm blessed. Thank you for having me.
Nah, no doubt, man. I had to get my guy on, man, because in this town, when you just start building your fan base, and then you got people who see your shit all the time, right? Like, I think it's safe to say like Instagram is probably most of our comedians' website, like, because we post our everything there, content, shows, whatever, pictures. And when you post that you have shows, right, you be feeling like as a comic sometimes like, man, niggas don't see it. I got at least 40-something likes. I got about 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 people who follow me. Like, nobody want to go in my shit. But James be hitting me like, yo, I'm in town. I see you got the show. Yo, what's good? And what I like too, and I never ask. I mean, I say if it's possible, but it doesn't. James brings people too, man. You came out with people. You saw me at the Improv a couple weeks ago. Right. I think, in my opinion, it was a fire ass show.
Right.
How did you feel watching the show?
I think it was dope. It was hilarious.
Yeah, man.
I love the energy, and it's nice to see people going after their dreams.
For sure, man.
I think that's the dopest thing ever. When you had an opportunity to maximize your blessing.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
Dope.
Yeah, shout outs to Shang, a friend of the podcast.
New Yorker.
Another fellow New Yorker, man. Shang is always gonna be one of those guys that's in my pocket because like he looked out for me when I was first coming out here. Like I would stay with him. He used to drive me around a little bit, help me get on shows. co-sign me to like people who didn't know who I was, and it's just like, oh, why should I put this guy on? And you know, what I learned early was that nobody owes you shit. You know what I mean? And not just a comedy in life. Nobody really owes you anything. So when he was willing to like help me out in certain instances, I always tell myself this is the sign of somebody who really like cares about giving back to the game. But then as we grew as friends, you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen him in his ups and his downs, and any way I can help him, I do. And I'm glad that I could still just do shows with him and every now and then. So we had a good time at the Improv. That was a really fun show to host. A lot of good comedians. But I want to get into what you do. So first, fellow New Yorker, what part of New York you from, bro?
South Bronx, boogie down.
South Bronx.
Soundview, baby.
Shout outs to Fat Joe and KRS-One and Remy Ma and Terror Squad and Cardi B, because she is
J-Lo.
J-Lo, yes, on the 6. You caught her on the 6 train? You ever caught J-Lo on the 6 train? Nah. Who are some of the MCs from Soundview?
It's like Mickey, hey, I got to give a shout out to Mickey Fax.
Mickey Fax? I don't know Mickey Fax. Maybe that's before me.
Paradise, baby.
Okay. Maybe if I hear the song, I'm like, oh, okay.
No,
I know Peter Guns though.
Yeah. The anthem, baby.
Yeah, the anthem. That was the in Yankee Stadium. I remember when I used to love that
anthem,
shit.
Big Pun, everybody.
I love Big Pun, man. Somebody, it's funny when when I got into comedy, right? Like you always
drag on.
It's a Soundview, South Bronx area. Yeah. When I started doing stand up, like when the New York comics and you do their rooms, and I used to come to the Bronx and do shows and stuff like that. Like, I'm even though I was a kid in the 90s, I think we can all agree that the 90s was such a fucking dope era. Right. We're like 20 years removed from that, but we still like the thousands of zeros or however we call it, it was cool, but the 90s was just still on some other level of flash. This shit that's there that just can't. It can't be recreated, or you just still don't get those feels, and we still chase those feels. And I'm just always big on just talking to people about 90s shit. So I used to ask comics like, yo, did you ever used to see Big Pun or be in a spot? So how were the chicks that were looking like that was Big Pun? And they used to tell me, yo, Pun always had the baddest chicks you would ever see in your life. Like, I don't know what those girls are doing now. What those Puerto Ricans is doing now, at Jimmy Bronx Cafe or whatever, Salsa Con Fuego. But man, they used to be like, yeah, it was some fun times. You used to go to those spots back then?
Pun was for real. Yeah. But it's just the Bronx.
It's just right. It's the BX. So but remember, that's regular to you. But think about if we brought Paul to the Bronx, right? I mean, Paul is Pomona, and I mean, I've been in some Pomona spots, and they got maybe a couple girls here and there, but Paul's never been in no Bronx shit where you just see bad Spanish mommies everywhere. Black chicks too, and depending on where you go, but it's usually just mostly black Hispanic.
Yeah. Paul loses his mind.
You lose your mind, and this is regular shit.
But it's fire though. But what it is though,
it's a risk.
Crystal clear. Yeah, it's a mad risk because they don't play that. It's not razor blades in the mouth.
Razor blades in the mouth. Them bitches will cut you.
Yeah, because you got to think, because everybody is kind of bad. So, I mean, I hate to say it like that, but the chicks is kind of bad, and other chicks know that. Right. So they get back as more your face. Yeah. Now let me see who gonna want you. Type vibe, for real. It's that ugly. It's now let me attack that.
How was it for you? So how did you maneuver when you coming up as a young dude in the Bronx in the 90s in that era? Because we all. I'm gonna put it out there. I think the '90s is probably the best time for hip hop, or one of the best times in hip hop, and just everything in general. How was that for you?
It was dope, because the thing that's even missing now, we was just having this conversation. Right. Thing that's missing in hip hop and in music now, I give you guys this example. The Blurred Lines joint, right? Robin Thicke, hit, right? Right. Feel good record, right? Made you feel good when you hear it. The Happy joint, right? Yeah. Made you feel good when you hear it, right? Right. Any records that make you feel good is hits, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So that's the lane that's missing. It's no more feel good records. Right. Back in the day, we had Heavy D.
Right? I love Heavy D.
We had Naughty by Nature, Hip Hop Parade, feel right? Good. You had Jeanne, right? Yeah. Mr. DJ, you had Kid and Play.
Feel good.
It was feel
just
good
fun.
records.
Fun vibe, no drama, no. Yeah.
No more. And I don't know why artists is missing that lane. Like,
Right.
feel good records is what hit. Anytime. That's why Happy hit so hard. Because it made people in the Blurred Lines joint.
And Miguel Adorn, that kind of thing.
It made them feel good. The records made them feel good when they came. Or you just feel good. Whether you want to dance or not, it was just a good
The
feeling.
hardest niggas on the block, when they hear that shit, they...
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know that a joint Happy, you know who that was for. Right?
Which one? Adorn?
No, the Happy record with Pharrell.
Who was that for?
CeeLo. Pharrell wrote it for CeeLo.
And CeeLo didn't want it?
Nah, he turned it down.
I love hearing that still. Who turned the song down and then like whatever. Like that's like I heard Poison was supposed to be for I'll Be Sure. And I'll Be Sure said nah. And so BBD got the hit of the two generations. They got like a Forever Club anthem. Like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
The records that you missed on. Like,
missed on.
Like, but now when you listen to it, probably the next time y'all hear Happy, you're going to hear CeeLo like, oh, I can see how this was for CeeLo.
Oh, yeah, the style of it. Like, when you hear a Neo song that Neo wrote for somebody, like a Mario, Let Me Love You, I'm like, that's Neo's imprint. Like, that I could tell. Like, I always like, to the left, like, the way he writes for somebody, like, you always can tell that that's his style. Like, when, Kelly used to pen up for somebody, you know what I'm saying? So, well, just take it back. So, you work, I'm going to let you explain your job title. Tell people what you do. And like what you've been going on for the last few years.
Well, I'm basically have a business that we had an opportunity to bless a lot of families and kids. So my basketball company, we teach a basketball class for 3 to 6-year-old boys and girls and 7 to 14-year-olds to give back to the community. So we give away free prizes, NBA tickets. It's me and other former NBA guys, and we donate our time to give back to the kids. We try to do it once a week when we have our opportunities with the schedules and everything. And, we discount single parents. We only charge $10. And families get to come out and that itself shocks a lot of people because, I played pro basketball in Osaka, Japan. Oh, wow. And then I was in Barcelona, Spain, and I was with the Clippers a little bit as well, right?
Oh, dope.
And people
what year
feel
was that?
like...
What year was that?
In 08.
Oh, okay. 08. That's not too long ago.
Right. And the thing about that part of it is that people feel like because of my resume that I should be charging more than the $10.
Right.
And my mindset with that is that, to keep it real with you, I just didn't want kids to miss out on the opportunity to better themselves due to financial reasons.
For sure.
Because y'all know how it is when we was growing up. We wanted to do something, but if moms, it was like, yo, I don't have all that money to pay that.
My mom could never afford ABCD camp or Jordan camps or whatever. Like, it was, I got to go to 5-star one year when I was because I played high school ball. And it was the junior year before my senior year. And that was the most exhausted I've ever felt in my life. Like, because we did the individual shit, and then my coach had the team up there. So then we stayed another week for like a team where we played team tournaments and shit like that. Right. So, but the memory I have from that camp was priceless. Like, that experience being on a college campus, we're eating 3 meals a day, working out every other. People were doing something basketball. That was the most basketball I ever played in my life. Like I got the best sleep though.
Right.
I remember having the best sleep because I was so exhausted. Like I was dog tired.
You up from the morning all the way till late night.
Till night.
Yeah.
One game, my coach. I don't know. Tell me if they made you do this when you was playing. My coach had us play 5 games in a day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was normal for you?
Yeah. Y'all.
Okay. I was never as good as you. But
but you ball out.
Yeah.
And but the best games.
Okay. Tell me. Go ahead.
The best games in those camps.
Yeah.
Was the counselors.
Really?
Yep. Because a lot of the former NBA guys had come back. And when, we'll go to sleep.
Okay.
They put us to bed. They all play.
So
you know what I'm saying?
I never knew that.
Yeah, they didn't like the counselors. Even when I worked, the counselors, once everybody's down,
that's when they go get it.
9 o'clock. Oh, at 9, we there getting the workout, and
hilarious.
The confidence is so crazy because you're playing against other NBA guys. So as a college guy, if you're scoring on NBA guys, when you get to college, you really trying to destroy
because you get that confidence from playing. That's why when you see like these kids from Duke who are gonna be really good, the RJ Barretts, the Zion Williamson, they said RJ's been playing pickup with NBA guys since junior year, and he's been giving it to guys. Like I think he has a chance to be a really, really talented player. I never got a chance to play NBA guys, but I did play guys who did make the NBA. Like Brandon Knight was in my region, so like we used to play his high school like 2-3 times a year, and man, he didn't even used to. One game he dropped like 40 on us. Another game he had like a triple double, but his team was so good he didn't even have to do much. Like our team was trash. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But like I could play. I could play a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, man, that experience though, like. The fact that I got to go to like one camp, but it wasn't too taxing. Like I was able to do it. I was in Tallahassee for like a week or 2 weeks or whatever. Yeah, I definitely cherish that, and I think you doing that for kids, making it affordable, giving them an experience to see guys who've made it. You know what I'm saying? No bullshit. They have a resume. You have a resume, and you're giving them things that they can use to train and practice when they're on their own. And that's basically what it is. You're teaching kids, these are moves, these are things, and then it's up to you to put in the work to perfect those.
Basically the fundamentals of the game, because I feel like that's what's missing. Everybody's so caught up in the hype and everything
Shooting
that's
threes,
going on. They missing the fundamentals of the game.
Okay, breakdown. Okay, I always want to have a talk about like the fundamentals, because I remember I'm a big NBA TV watcher, so I remember when Magic Johnson had those better basketball shits. Remember better basketball? And he has to have all the guys do his videos in a drill. Like, break down like a solid like fundamental that people overlook.
I mean, just give
me one.
A simple jump stop.
A jump stop. Okay.
Yeah, a simple jump.
Executing a proper jump stop, like off the dribble, or like when you try to triple threat.
Even and pump fake. A pump fake is you acting like you're shooting the ball. You're tricking the defense to think that you're finishing. So you're doing everything the exact same, but you don't release the ball.
But cats,
that's what made people jump.
But cats screw up the pump fakes.
They pump fake from their waist now. Like they just do, and keep going.
Right.
Like, what did you just do? Like, what was that?
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
I like that. I like that specific.
How you posted is actually. You do everything the exact same how you would shoot a basketball.
Right.
You just don't release it. And you put it back down and go.
In your form.
Right. Everything is the same thing. Yeah, and then you don't release it because they think that's going to make them jump because it looks so familiar to them.
Because the object is supposed to get somebody off the ground so you can go around
so you do everything the exact same. You're tricking the opponent.
Is the fundamental to, if you have them going up, to go left or right? Like, do you teach that? Like, is there a difference?
Well, it depends on how they jump at you.
Right.
And everything on it, too. When you do up and unders, the same thing. The up and unders, it depends on how they jump. But the footwork is, like, Kobe had the best footwork. Mike, too. But just the footwork is extremely important.
I've been, I was going to send it to you, too. I've been sending it to my boy to tell him, like, yo, you should watch this, because I've always been a fan of his, and I think that he's been doing, like, media shit now and talking and doing a podcast, Gilbert Arenas. I mean, he has a podcast that he's been putting out. I don't know if you've caught any of them.
I'll
send you an episode. But his attitude of stuff, he's crazy, but yo, he's so fucking dope to me. Like, he broke down.
He's real, though.
He's real. Like, he really, like, I like how he's not afraid to, like, name drop and criticize something that he feels that a guy does wrong. Even if they're a great player, he gives them the props, of course. But, like, he breaks down how James Harden, in his opinion, what he does, he believes James Harden doesn't work on anything, because he says all James Harden does is gets everybody at the top of the key spread out because he's not fast. He has a bunch of moves but does a bunch of nothing. But he's like, I'm a scorer, so it's like I'm not gonna waste time. 1-2 dribble move, get around you, make my move. Like he takes issue with the fact that James Harden plays a lot around with the ball, burns a lot of energy, and I was like, yo, I could kind of see his point, like, because Gilbert was an efficient. Like, I mean, those 3 years, 05 to 07. He was up there with everybody. You can't, like, he played good before and a little bit after, even though he had the injury and the gunship. But there's a good, solid 3 years of an elite player. He was the truth. So he's not talking shit out of his ass.
He wasn't scared. He wasn't playing scared at all.
Dropped 60 on Kobe on the Lakers. You know what I'm saying?
He was, his confidence level was through the roof.
And that's what he talked about too, just the confidence and just, practicing something 1,000 times.
But the thing about it is
working smarter as opposed to hard, because it was like, he said he was like, if you shoot 100 jumpers, he says you should make 80 because nobody's there. But why shoot 100 with nobody there? Like, with me, I'm going to be taking jump shots with somebody guarding me because that's what I'm going to be going against in the game.
Right.
And he would practice like 50 pull-ups with somebody in his face as opposed to just doing 100, or like the way he had the ball roll out to him, because he was like, you know, before I used to just do the shit myself, but it's like, no, that's why you get a guy to toss it to you, whatever, if that's so you can get the most out of your practice time. Right. You know, just little shit like that.
Yeah, that I get that.
Right.
But also, like, it's really the mentality.
Okay.
See, that's what made me successful.
Okay.
Like, yo,
you
I
a
was
scorer?
I was PG. I mean, I would give you like my thing was this. It's like I was the shortest on every basketball team I've been on throughout my whole career.
Okay.
High school, college, pro. It didn't.
How tall
it
are you?
matter.
What are you, 6?
I'm 6'1".
6'1", okay.
Right? But high school, college, pro, it didn't matter. I was the shortest on every team that I was on. But I was mentally stronger than everybody.
Okay.
Like, and how that transpired for me is when I was younger, I got diagnosed with HOH.
Okay, what's that for the people?
Heart over height.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Some street shit right there.
Word up. It was heart over height.
I ain't gonna lie, because I haven't heard that shit so long. I was like, yo, that's a real disease? Like, what you got?
Right. I was
like, yo, you had something?
Yeah, word up.
You
I was diagnosed. I was diagnosed with HOH, heart over height, so I wasn't scared of nobody.
Okay.
And my mentality was, I didn't care if my grandmother was out there. I was gonna give it to her. She shouldn't have been on the court.
Wow.
Because I never was going to let nobody detour me from my dream, because the reason why I got into basketball is to get the death of my father off my mind, and he died when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
So it was therapeutic for me.
Wow.
And I understood at a very young age that my mother wasn't going to be financially able to send me to college.
Wow.
And I didn't want to put that stress on her.
Yeah.
So I was in the gym just maximizing my blessing and working
to kill
and working
on the court.
You know what I mean? And it was my dream. So that was the thing. I wanted to not put that stress and force my mother to get a second job to do all of this other stuff to get me off to college, when all I have to do is just really maximize my blessing. So with what going back to what Gil was saying about, we didn't have that. We had to play by ourselves. I'm the only boy and the youngest in my fam. I didn't have that, but I was so focused in the game. I didn't need an entourage. I didn't need a bunch of people to come work out. I was doing it on my own. Right. So my imagination was my opponent.
Yeah.
So
he did that too until he got to the next level.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah, but you push. Like I tell the kids now, like when I lay out the cones on the court and I have them doing certain moves, and I'm like, okay, what do you see? And they'll look and they be like, a cone right here. I asked the next kid, what do you see? They like, a cone right here. Another kid, what do you see? That cone right there. And I'm like, okay, so pause. That's the problem. You see a cone. Now ask me what I see.
What you see?
And I see a man. I see an opponent. That's a dude that I'm crossing over. I'm not crossing over no cone. I just crossed over a dude. I just killed a dude right now. Like it's a certain type of mentality that you have to have. Yeah. When so I get what Gil's saying like that, but you just work. Yeah. It's your mindset.
Like one his thing too. He said he had agendas against guys who he had a real life issue with, but because somebody would bring this up, his motivation was like, oh, I'm gonna kill this guy because I know I'm better than this guy. So like, whoever he was in his class, I think it was like Juan Dixon or somebody like that, and they tried to bring him up as the guy. He was like, my shit was I had to kill him when we played them. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course. Like I had to show this motherfucker out.
Of course.
It's weird. So when I play high school ball,
I'm sorry to cut you off, but you got to understand. Yeah. Coming from where we coming from, right? The mentality is, I'm a lion, you a lion, and it's a stake in the middle of the court. Who wants it? Mm-hmm. Like, because they plan to get a scholarship, like you plan to get a scholarship. They plan to take care of their family and get their family out the hood, like you plan to take care of your family, get your fam out the hood. Yeah. It's really on some do or die. It's like, yo, man, like, yo, let's go, yo. Let's get it.
It was okay. So I'm trying to like take it back to when I was little, because I'm from Queens. I used to play in Queens, like left rack, and in Jamaica, like YMCA, local shit like that, and play on the street. I remember being really tough when I was a kid playing ball, because I always knew the New York mentality was you play against cats that's older than you, because that's how you get better. Maybe that's the global basketball mentality. Right. If you want to get on the court, you really got to hold your own, because they're not going to pick you if you soft or you can handle contact. So
and they're going to keep your ball and make you sit down.
Right. So
you going to play with your ball and you sit down.
I was always a little tall. I knew I could jump a little bit, but I knew I was tough. Like even if like my build, I don't look like a tough kid. Like I look like I don't impose fear in my opponent. But I'm not gonna back down. Like I don't allow shit to just, if you cross me, I'm still gonna go try and block your shit. Or the next time I'm gonna, I'm gonna figure something out where that you gotta respect what I'm trying to do.
Your spirit's not broke.
Right, when my spirit's not broke. Like you're not just going like, you're not gonna tell me I'm gonna go right back at you. Like
you take them.
I wouldn't even do that. I never, when I used to get mad, and even if a nigga was burning me, like the only thing I really couldn't do was guard like a point guard full court. He would, because he would just smoke me. I ain't had a feet for that. But when I'm in the paint in the half court, like I'm there with you.
Right.
When my offensive skill got better. Like I had a moment in my freshman year, right? Where like my first 2-3 games, I played like on the JV freshman team, and I played and I dropped like 15 or 20 like both games, and I felt good about that because I knew I could score, I knew I could do these things, and I could practice and keep up with the older kids. Then these kids from football came on the team, right? And like mad kids was getting the ball, dude was playing point man play, and my problem was that I was never vocally aggressive. Right. Like I played hard, I played aggressive. I always like play defense. You stay on the court, make the right plays because I'm an all around player. I'm not a selfish, inherently selfish guy. Though I know I can do things. Right. But when I saw that I just wasn't getting the ball and I wasn't getting a chance to score, it ate at me because I felt like cats know I'm a good player, but like why? I felt like I should have been getting more than I did get, and I think. Sometimes it goes back to you had this take the line attitude, and I was never about taking the line. Like I knew I played hard, but I never felt like I was killing steak. And I think when you taking steak, I think that has to come with saying I got to get 15 to 20 points a night. Like I just think when you're a killer, it's more scoring than anything. Even if you can play defense, even if you are a good team player, you make right plays. I think scoring it usually translates the most for your mentality is to show out because when you get in a scholarship, even a defensive player in high school, he's getting 20 points a game. Like a Ben Wallace dominated his high school. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I felt like maybe that was missing. Like I never. Because I wasn't a naturally selfish cat, and not that you're a selfish person. You can play ball, you can get guys involved, but you're still there's a thing where it's like I got to get my points, and I never had the I got to get mine. But if I had the I got to get mine and we're winning, it's not going to be a problem if you got to get yours. You know what I mean? And New York, unfortunately, it's like we fight this I got to get mine ability, but with we got to win with the team shit. So like you know what I mean?
It's definitely a balance of it. Yeah. But it's more too like in your.
And I was a really undersized forward. I was a 6'1" forward. I had to jump with 6'7" kids all day. So that's also the reason. My coach, like I said, we were really small high school. So we were like 2A, and then we were really
playing
outside.
Out of position though too.
I was always playing because I could jump. Like I had like a Sean Marion type of bounce. So my coach always put me with the big kids, and that would wear me out. But I was mad I'm not getting the ball and a chance to score. And like he would kind of like yell at me when I'm trying to make a move because I know I can do shit. And it's like, yo, you see me in practice or in the summer like scoring kids. Like why the fuck you getting mad because I want to fucking take the ball from the top of the key and do stuff. And I felt like my coach would just be so restrictive with the with the playbook and whatever. So it was just. And
it's like that. And I tell kids all the time because I used to hear that. Yeah. And I'm like, my main thing was defense. I'll pick you up full court. Okay. That was just what it is, and we gonna work. I felt the most ultimate disrespect that you can do to another player is to come down and call a play while I'm sticking you. You know what I'm saying? You stand there dribbling one, go over. That's so disrespectful. Ooh. Like you gonna let this man sit up here and call a play in your face while you sticking him? Like you ain't even there? Yeah. That's disrespect. He should never be able to stand there dribbling.
I definitely didn't deserve a scholarship because I was not thinking
to call a play.
But I didn't have to guard Brandon. But like it was just a couple of times where we was trying to like press and shit, and like coach was trying to have me come at the like half court to come out, but that nigga's blow by speed was just I couldn't stay in front of him. But I was better like like playing the zone a little bit, playing in the paint, moving back and forth, or guarding like the forward or whatever like that. Like I wasn't built to be a point guard in that kind of speed. But I feel you. Right. Like you take that disrespect. When a guy's calling a play, I'm just thinking we're playing a half court defensive set. Like I didn't even think our mentalities are so different. I love to hear that though because it's just like even shit like that. Like you took it personal.
Yeah, like that's the game. I definitely took personal because the guys that I was playing against, I felt like
Who'd you play against? If you talk about
you was trying to get me taken out the game, and you not finna embarrass me on Big Monday in front of Dick Vitale.
Right.
You not finna embarrass me
Yeah.
in front of my mama.
Yeah.
My sister's innocent. You think I'm finna sit up here and just let you embarrass me and force the coach to take me out the game because you destroy it? It was just that mentality. It was just that hunger and that vibe. And the thing about it that you was talking about too, I think it probably would have been totally different for you because what all coaches love,
right,
and regardless of the numbers,
right,
is leadership. A person that talks, right?
Right.
If, like, the point guards, you ain't, like, I'm a PG, but you didn't have to get mad points. But if I can tell somebody 6'8" to come and set this screen, no, you go get that rebound. That's your, like, dang, look how he talking to the bigs.
Yeah.
Like, he's elite. He don't care. And he the littlest one out there.
Yeah.
And he talking, telling everybody where to go, the big, trying to get you to throw it into the post, but he supposed to come and set a pick.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not throwing it to the post. Come do the pick. Right, no. You come. Like, coaches love lead. So even in your position, if you hulling up, everybody like, no, that's your man.
I used to ask for help and shit like that.
Like swing, switch. And then, I see him right here. Watch your back over there. If you just talking, coaches need that.
And this is what happened. So we had like a 6'4" kid on our team. He was skinny, so he used to get bumped. And then like, so I had to guard the bigger person. I always had to guard the biggest kid, right? Because I was able to jump to a degree, and I rebounded pretty well. Or I could at least get the tip quick before anybody said we can get the ball. And and I was, like I said, back then I was just wasn't a talker on the court. Like I really didn't say much. But when I needed help on defense, when I was just getting mad because niggas I would make the stop, but then we wouldn't get the rebound. And after the second time, the third time, the fourth time they get the rebound, and then they finally put it back in, I'm exhausted. I'm like, yo, like, can y'all fucking help me out? Like, shit.
Yeah.
I stopped this nigga 3 times, and then y'all still couldn't get the ball. Right. Like, yo.
Right.
Jesus
especially
if they, you 6'1".
Right.
I'm 6'1",
especially if they bigger than you.
Especially if they bigger than me.
Like you are big. Yeah. There's no way that I should have more rebounds than you as a guard.
Right.
I don't care what you say, dog.
Yeah.
It's no way that I should have more rebounds than you. You are big. Like, it's no way you should have more assists than me. That mean I'm not doing my job as a PG if my center got more assists than me.
Right.
Like, like, I should not have more rebounds than the center. Yeah. Like, it's
defense, but it was offense. That shit bothered me because we just like had these plays, but people wanted to play half-fast. Niggas ain't know the playbook, and then we just had cats going for theirs, and it was just kind of like, it was just hard to get a rhythm. And then when I try to do things that I knew I could do, I get taken out and be like, that's not your game. You do this, run the plays at the like, man.
But that's you're absolutely right. And I advise point guards to this day.
Yeah.
I get a lot of questions like from the PG perspective was like, yo, listen.
Yeah.
The advice I give to point guards is everybody want to run this equal opportunity offense. You have to be able to feed the fire. So my mentality as a point guard is this. If I come down to you and I throw you the ball on the wing and you run in the 2 lane, you run in the right side, and you score, the next play down, I'm coming back to you because my job as a point guard is to give you an opportunity to catch fire. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we had nobody.
But no, because it's ridiculous. Now, if you miss, the next time down, I'm going to go to somebody else, right? Yeah. But if you score, why not give you an opportunity to get in that zone? Right? Yeah. You just scored. Give him back the ball. Yeah. Maybe his man is tired and he knows that. Let him go to work. Yeah. But no. Point guards want to come, they throw it here, and then they take what the play give them, and they take what the play. I get all that component, but you also got to understand, like,
flex pop up in the middle, come down.
Yeah, like let my man get on. Yeah, let him run off about 5 threes until he miss. Yeah,
and like he would in the summer when we had to do travel games, he would see me get 15 points. Like I could take somebody in the little, mid post. I could spot up, hit a shot. Oh, I could, I had a good first step. I could get to the basket, get to the free throw line, or get little steals and transit. Like he'd see me do this shit, and then he just subject me to go play defense, go chase everybody, go bang with the bigger kids because we were a horrible rebounding team, and I don't know, but
put you out of that position.
I'm not in a position to get buckets because then it's just gonna be I'm the do it all guy. Like that's why I felt like in high school I was like in my mind I always did comparisons like. When I'm playing pickup with my friends or whatever like that, like I can get in that Paul Pierce zone when I know I could take people and do whatever I can do at that level. But then when we were playing in high school ball, I felt like Sean Marion.
Right. Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Have you ever seen somebody, and maybe Paul will know this too, have you ever seen somebody suck kind of in high school.
Yes. Oh, no,
but get to college and shine. Have you ever seen somebody that really wasn't that? You be like, how did they get a scholarship? But then they get into college and they shine. Have y'all ever witnessed that at all? That you can
it's hard for me to tell because after I graduated high school and before I moved back to New York, and then I got into my comedy journey, so I never witnessed anybody's progression from how they were in high school to college. Like anybody who I knew who had scholarships, like I followed them to my friends or my teammates, but I don't know what they did or what I didn't do, so I couldn't see that. Like where'd you go to school?
Yeah, it's Iowa, right?
Okay.
So let me tell you this.
Paint the picture.
I'm gonna help you guys understand how the game works.
Okay.
College coaches come, and I tell kids all the time, all kids want to focus on is being on a winning team. It's not, if you can play, they're going to find you.
Yeah.
They're not recruiting the team.
No.
They're recruiting you. And college coaches is real smart. So if you're on a team that's like, I don't know, like 3-20, right?
Yeah.
And I came to your game, and I see you come down court, you throw a no-look pass, and it goes out of bounds, everybody gonna look at you.
Right.
Like, why did he throw that no-look pass, et cetera, et cetera. But as a college coach, I'm watching you, and I'm like, I want him. Because you know why?
Tell me.
I got the horses that's gonna catch that pass. See, sometimes players are ahead of their time, and understand what I'm saying. Sometimes players is literally ahead of their time where they look like they're terrible because the talent level, they don't see what that player saw.
Yeah.
And the college coach be like, oh no, you throw a lob and that kid didn't go get it. It looked like you just threw the ball out of bounds.
Right.
But college coach like, no, I got a kid that's gonna run and get Nick gonna run and catch that. So why would you recruit him? Because I got the people that's going to be able to complement his style of play and make him look great. Even though he looked terrible now, it's just because he don't have the horses around him that's on that same level as him to catch the ball. So that's how things happen like that in college and NBA too. They're not that good in college and they shine in the NBA.
In college, NBA, I get that. I can follow that because I watch enough college ball, especially when it comes like draft time. I start looking at who I think the Knicks are going to take, and then I've heard so many scouts break down shit, so like my mind thinks like a scout. Okay, how would they play? And usually one thing that for a guy like a wing player, like I think I picked Kevin Knox, right? So I went to Summer League to go watch the Knicks, and I caught like one game. And what impressed me compared to when I saw him in Kentucky, when you watch his highlights in Kentucky, a lot of his stuff were transition buckets, so you knew he'd be good in the open floor, and he can do like one dribble, two dribble, get to the basket, or spot up, and that's what he really did. But in Summer League, he showed his ball handling. Like, he ran a pick and roll, made moves to the basket, and made some passes. Like, he showed a lot more than he did in college, and that's because Calipari had a restricted offense. So, but cats didn't know that he had that skill. But so when you see him do that in Summer League, you're like, wow. So when he really starts getting his body together, getting his coordination together, and obviously playing with better talent, this guy, he can run an offense here and there, make a play, pick and roll. He can handle in the open floor, not just like 1-2 dribble, like straight line drive. He can actually create and make different combo moves. So like I can catch that. But in high school, we had a guard on our team that like he was like the best kid out from like my freshman to he was a year older than me, so his name was Zach Bailey. He was like a 6'2" kid. He was more like a shooting guard at first or point. I mean, Mario just a guard, and we knew he was gonna get the scholarship because he can get 20 a game. Like, he can get buckets. As the talent was less, obviously he was more inefficient because we had players that was trash. But he was a scorer, so like we knew he would get to a D1, and he did go. He went to like Tennessee Tech or something like that. So we didn't really have much after that was like getting a scholarship. But he was our guy. I could just tell because he had the moves that he was doing. And there was times where like, he would get restricted and they'd fuck him up because they could just 3-on-1 him because why? We didn't have the proper spacing to give him to operate to go to work. To go to work. Yeah, so, it's a lot behind. It's a lot behind the game that a lot of people miss, and like who's in your mentality. Like the mentality. Right.
The mentality. A lot of people don't understand, even with the NBA. Okay. Like, it's a lot of great players. Right.
Let's talk about that.
That a lot of great players that didn't make the league. Right.
Okay.
Because what people don't understand, the NBA do a mental evaluation of you.
For sure.
And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
And if you don't pass that,
Yeah.
you're not getting in because you cannot make the brand look bad. You cannot, I don't care how nice your game is, there's no way that you can make the brand look bad. You doing interviews and you talking crazy or you out here wilding out and you're going to make the brand look, they have to go through that. And it's people that at night you're like, man, how come they didn't make it? Because you have to be very, very mentally strong. And what you have to understand about basketball is this. You constantly have to reinvent yourself.
Okay.
Think about what I'm saying. If you in elementary school, right?
Yeah.
Like, you 6th grade, you the man, right? You finally made it to be the man because you 6th grade or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So then you go to middle school. The 8th graders is like the man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you got to pay your dues.
Yeah, as a 6th grader with that.
Right. So then as a 6th grader, you're not the man no more. So now you got to reprove yourself in middle school to become the man.
All right. Then come
in
high
middle
school, you're a freshman.
You're a freshman, but then you have to prove yourself then, and then you're playing with high school All-Americans,
Travel
right?
AU.
Right. So then you prove yourself. Now you finally a high school All-American. Everybody know you, right? Now you get to college. Pretty much everybody was an all-conference, all-state, all-American type thing. So now you got to prove yourself among them.
Right.
And then when you get National Player of the Year in college and you all-American and this and that, then you get to the NBA. Everybody in the NBA was an All-American.
McDonald's, top 100.
All
top
that.
10.
So now you got to reinvent yourself again. Basketball is a constant, consistent reinvention of your skills.
Okay, so let me ask you something about this. We talk about the head and the talent when it doesn't sometimes fall in line. I think one of the best examples of that, somebody who was, all-world player, all-world talent, who in theory, I always think could be doing the same as these guys, but the shit happened and he got a bad rap for it. Michael Beasley. Like when I think about Michael Beasley, because I remember when I was in high school, I used to pay attention to the rankings, like the OJ Mayos, the Derrick Roses, Eric Gordon. Those were the guys, the John Walls, and Beasley was like there right after Durant. He went to K-State, 25 a game, freshman records, double. Then he goes to the draft. The mental shit, because they said he used to smoke and. He bounced around a lot of schools. He had a kind of like unstable environment, and then he had the shit with the rookie program, and then that kind of started him off to a bad rap. And like he averaged like 14 a game his first couple of years. He had I think a year in Minnesota he put up 19, but then after that it was like journeyman shit. Yeah. And I feel like he's just as good as a Durant or Harden. Could be dropping 30 a game if he got 35 to 40 minutes a night. But why do you not think that Beasley gets 35, 40 minutes a night and gets a chance to be a top scorer in the league? When we all know that he has the ability to do it when he gets the minutes because he always produces. Like there's not a game where I've seen him get 35 and more minutes and then he doesn't get at least 20 points in a game. Yeah,
and it sucks because it's like, and sometimes you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
So that's the thing. It's like you never know.
You never know. That's the potential thing.
It's some people that that's consistent.
Right.
Like, I mean, we was talking about the possibility of a trade for Draymond Green and Anthony Davis. Would you pull the trigger? Right?
How much are we giving up?
Like, would you? No. Flat out, a trade.
A trade?
Draymond Green, Anthony Davis.
I'm taking it, AD.
Right. So, and people would like, no. Some people was like, well, Draymond is the engine and this and that, which I get that. But the only thing about Draymond, you don't know what you're going to get. But with AD, you're going to get a double-double. You're going to get 25, 10, 25. You know that consistently.
Right.
Sometimes Draymond may hit that 3 and it may be on 5. Sometimes it's not.
He clunky.
Like you never know what you're going to get from Draymond. Right. But if you have a chance to get something that you know for a fact that's consistent across the board, that people going to pull the trigger on it. So I think consistency and the confidence within that. It's
yeah. All right. So who are guys that you went up against in high school when you were playing? Like who were your peers?
I'll tell you, with the New York Gauchos.
Hey, shout outs to the legendary travel team, New York Gauchos. Man, that's a staple in New York basketball for sure. Big ass staple.
Yeah, it's like it was a lot, especially when we hit Vegas.
Okay, how was those tournaments?
Vegas,
when you hit Vegas? Man. Like I never got that level. I wasn't that good where we got to do the travel out of state shit like that. Like I just did the local stuff. So I hear the stories or when I watch interviews. So tell me about Vegas.
It's a lot. Like I used to see the interesting part about that.
How were the hoes in high school? No, I'm just kidding. Let's talk about groupie love for a second.
Yeah, it was that definitely was real.
In Vegas, going away on these tournaments.
Oh my God!
They throwing these girls throwing themselves at you?
When we hit the cities, just as ball from high school it started in high school,
right?
And and went on to college. Like it were really like that. What's the Luda joint? Area codes joint?
212, 303.
The area codes, right? Yeah. It was for real. Like and teens would get mad. Let me tell you, teens would get mad because we'll come in and they chicks
was bad.
Will rock with us, be at our hotel.
Because y'all had the New York swag shit.
But it's like...
Was it like Coach Carter? Like, that white girl comes up to you at the tournament, I'm having a party tonight.
Man, I'm
having a party.
It's crazy, though.
Bring your guys.
No, it's definitely... it gets real. And, like...
Are you still thinking about steak and eating steak when Lindsay...
Nah, it's like that vibe. Like the recruiting trips.
All right, let's talk about that.
No, they messed up. And Paul know this too, right? When they
Paul, you got something to say? You want to chime in on this, Paul?
Bro, listen, when they start running their mouth about what's happening on the recruiting trips, that's when everything went bad. The Kentucky stuff and all that other.
Yeah, the gifts and the...
I'm going to keep it real with you.
Keep it a buck.
Like, you get 5 trips.
Okay.
And for a cat coming from the hood.
That's your limit. You get a number of 5 trips to visit before you make a decision. Recruiting trips.
Even if you know where you're going.
Right.
Take them all. You know what I'm saying?
You hear that, listener? Aspiring ball players. If you get nice, 5 trips.
Right. Especially if you in the hood because you're getting wined and dined.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You're getting filet mignon.
Yeah, I visit Tennessee and...
All right.
The people welcome me.
You came out
on
to
the
LA?
airplane.
What cities
right,
what'd you pick?
Right.
You don't have to name the school. Just name the cities.
Oh man, Tennessee.
Okay. State. Just name this. Just give it vague, but
Tennessee was Texas.
All right, like Houston area. What area are we talking?
Austin.
Okay. All right, Texas. You went to Texas.
And then Iowa. Obviously.
All right.
UNLV.
Okay, so you came out to Vegas. That tournament was so crazy. You had to put them in the bucket.
But I tell you this, UNLV. I was initially going to go to UNLV.
Okay, all right.
Initially, but they was in trouble. And
with the scandal shit.
Yeah,
so you had to go.
Yeah, so I did.
I mean, Iowa is respected as a good D1.
Big Ten.
Well, Big Ten. So
we got Michigan State,
for sure.
Like Indiana, like Purdue, like
what high school class are you?
And everything in '91.
Okay.
So I was there doing the Fab Five.
Oh, okay, got you. That was
Michael Finley and Glenn Robinson and Sean Respert.
Let me ask you played Minnesota too?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I have Gophers.
I got. There's a comic. He's about probably about your age. He played in Minnesota and he was like big time out of Denver. You ever heard of John Laster?
John Laster. Is that big? How tall is he?
He's like 6'3", 6'4". Like athletic, like he was from Denver and he played in Minnesota. And then he transferred. But he was really nice. But he's from that era. He's a stand-up comic though.
So I'm cause Minnesota because we did a basketball camp in because I used to. That's how I worked on my game. I'm gonna tell you this, the secret. That's how I worked on my game. Really in the summer in college, I went and worked basketball camps, UCLA's. I went to like North Carolina's.
So it's legal for you to do that?
Well, yeah, because they'll pay you. You're a counselor. Remember,
even at the high school level?
No, not at high school. I'm talking about once I got to college.
Got you.
Right. So
it's a summer job.
So let me it's a summer thing. So I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
To work at basketball. That's how I got into helping kids.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You see how it all ties in.
You work as a gig, but then you get to run that pickup shit with all the NBA, all the real killers.
That's how, and I would come back. And then I got NBA friends, but then they telling their agents. It's like, it's so many, but they respect, but I'm learning and I'm watching.
Right.
So you pick the schools that had the best
NBA turn up crop. Like you go to North Carolina, Georgia Tech, something like that.
Like it's the overnight camps is what you work.
Okay.
You don't do the day camps. You do the overnight camps because they put you up in the dorms. They feed you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you get room and board and you getting paid.
Yeah.
And you get the ball out with all account and all the NBA guys is coming in at night. That's how I perfected my game.
Okay.
Because I was playing against those guys all throughout instead of like the summer leagues. I'm like, this is my summer league
right here,
and I'm getting paid
to play.
That, right? So pretty much, I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
And I'm teaching kids.
Hustler.
And I'm still around basketball, but then I'm learning the game
from these vets.
I'm learning so much, and you know, it was a learning experience, but you seeing all of these guys, and it was the dopest. I tell kids all the time, work camps. Go do the camps.
That's amazing, bro. Like I never even, cause okay, so like not to put it in like, well, it is business because it set a foundation for what you're doing now, but in a way, it's like, this is how you stay close to the game that you love.
Right.
You're playing, you're making money, you're making a living, you're traveling, you're seeing things, and you're networking.
Right.
Because once you
broke.
making money when you broke. Because you know, shit, when you go back to the hood, just hey, until school starts, and then we getting on that fixed income. But like when you're out there, and you know, as soon as that first time you dropped a 3 in that nigga's face, he had to come at you with like, I give you that, man. And they have your respect because you gave him work a couple times on the court.
And you wasn't scared.
And you wasn't scared.
And you watching.
They can pick fear apart, right?
Like I like to watch.
You like to watch.
Like, I like to peep out. Like what you're doing. Like I like to study and watch what you're doing because everything with me is mental and I understand like, okay. Like I'm gonna tell you the biggest surprise of the NBA.
Tell me.
I said something about that before earlier.
Yeah, I wanted to save it, so let's get into it now.
The biggest surprise of the NBA to me that blew my mind on how far the game changed and I just shook my head and was like unbelievable is how my man from Utah, Mitchell,
Donovan,
got off.
In terms of how he became a success?
Yeah, like how he did his thing throughout the playoffs.
Right.
But nobody bullied him.
He never had a check moment.
Listen, right. Like, ain't no way you a rookie.
Right.
And you finna come in and I got 6 fouls. Nobody laid him out. You're not trying to hurt nobody, but because everybody knew he was strong physically and talented, right?
Yeah.
But what we didn't know, if he was strong mentally, could he get, like, try to get him into a fight, get him frustrated, get him put out the game, get him this, that. Nobody tested his mental.
Never.
That blew my mind. Like, how is he steady coming to the hole and nobody knocked him down, tried to push him, tried to bully him,
just
tried to get him.
Welcome to the NBA, nigga.
Like, but just get him out of his game. Try to see if he'll fight with him, get attacked, get through out, get frustrated. I'm going to hit you again and bully him. Like, put somebody in the game that's averaging three points and kind of like, yo, let's test his mental.
Because I give him this,
Nobody
right?
did it.
I give him this, right? So that Thunder series, right? Russell Westbrook, and this is why Westbrook, like he's one of those, he's like the Iverson of our generation, right? He tantalizes me because it's like he was talking in post game about shutting Rubio down. Rubio shouldn't be your focus. You should be guarding Mitchell. This motherfucker is 19 years old, playing smarter than you, and you're 10 years his senior. You're a superstar. $200 million contract, and this guy is showing you how the right way to play and showing y'all out, and you don't take the challenge to go guard him and give him a shove, give him a fucking elbow or something. And the only reason why I think even Houston got off was because Rubio got hurt, and then he had to play point guard, and he wasn't ready for that to take on point guard and creative. Like he just been able to just score, make plays when he needs to, but like. That's the only thing he got exhausted because he hasn't been through that. So that was his ringer, was just playing a little bit out of position and getting overwhelmed by the Rockets. But like you're right, nobody came for him. Nobody came for Tatum either. Nobody checked Tatum.
And I don't understand.
Their confidence is not through the roof now that you really can't check him down.
It's like, but you don't know. Like I said, everything is
like Kobe
mental.
got put on his ass. Vince got put on his ass.
Everything is mental. You got to see if they can keep their composure. This kid can do everything physically that he want to do, but do we know if he can keep his composure?
Did LeBron get put on his ass when he was? I don't think you could put LeBron on his ass. Because even Ron Artest was on Norris drink champs, and he was like, he had like 25 in the game against Indiana, and then he looked at the bench, was like, So this y'all best guy? And that's what Ron said he was boiling because LeBron tried him like that as a rookie. Some guys get the exception. Maybe he's just an exception.
Yeah, but see LeBron and that's another thing.
Donovan's really good though.
Yeah, Don. He's good. But like I said, it's always a mental thing from how we look at the thing. And some people look at me sideways when I say this about LeBron.
Let's talk about it.
And
we can get into it. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan. I respect him.
No, I got mad love for LeBron. But what made me kind of lose a little bit respect for him.
Okay.
Right? And I'm gonna see if y'all remember this. Hopefully, Paul, you remember this too, right? Do y'all remember? And everybody that's listening, you can pull this up and check this out because I watch everything.
He quit on Boston.
Right? No.
Okay.
If y'all remember when KD went off and he had like 44 and then he hit that long jumper.
The game 3?
Right.
Last year.
Last season.
And
right?
when he pulled up on his face.
Right. When he hit that long 3. Yeah. And he hit it on Hood. Mm-hmm. Right?
So we're talking about this past finals, not last year's finals.
No.
Because that was a clutch one too last year, but this year's game 3.
This one.
All right. Or game whatever.
Where he was on fire.
Right.
KD was on fire. He had 40-some points.
Yeah.
Fans, pull this up if you think I'm bullshitting. Look at it. How that play started. KD got the rebound.
Yeah.
LeBron was sticking them. Now keep in mind, KD been on fire all game.
Yep.
If I'm the greatest player in the world, I got you, KD. I gotta stick you.
Yeah.
You on fire. You killing us right now. LeBron was sticking them. As soon as KD came across half court, and look this up, Steph came over to do a screen on LeBron. Hood was sticking Steph. Mm-hmm. Steph didn't even get to make contact with LeBron, and LeBron walked off from KD.
Onto Hood, he switched.
And left KD and walked off with Steph because Steph was going to the other side. Steph didn't even hit LeBron on the screen. And that put 6'4" Hood on 6'11" KD with his reach.
And then cooked him.
And KD shot the jumper. And if you look at the video, LeBron turned around and looking like he's mad and look at Hood. But that was, why LeBron, you 6'8". Why would you put a 6'4" on a 6 and he been on fire all game and you had him? You was sticking him first. It ain't like you got screened and had to take him. Steph didn't even touch you.
Here's what I tell people all the time because they try to it's weird because you get in the NBA, sometimes you get this reputation of being a good defender, and they give you these accolades. So then it's like on your resume, you look like a great defender. But I always tell people, I said LeBron is not a good one-on-one defender. Right. This is what he does. LeBron does good at chase down blocks. So off-ball defense, he can do that. He'll pick a pocket and get a steal like that. But when it comes to one-on-one, only time he shuts anybody down is when he's guarding a point guard. Mm-hmm. When he decides to take on Derrick Rose or Steph or whatever, that's the only time he really stops somebody. Whenever he's guarding somebody his size, KD cooks him. Giannis cooks him. Whoever, wing player, Paul George, all of these guys, they always get it in on LeBron. And he never steps up to the challenge to guard the best player in the moments that count. Now, I get it. He was playing 45 minutes. Right. Nigga ain't get a chance to take a breath. And I give him that. And he put up all the numbers to keep him in the game. He does his thing. But in these little moments that matter, right there, you don't fucking switch and get off the guy and let the fucking young guy who's never been in that moment before guard KD.
Because the game was on the line.
It was on the line.
So you know the game is on the line. I'm telling you, Paul, you find that video and look it up.
It's game 3.
You watch it from the beginning and you see it.
He switched off. Didn't even fight through Curry. Didn't fight through the screen.
No, Curry was walking towards him to hit him and he bagged away before Curry got there. And let Hood just take him. Yeah. And he pulled that 3 on Hood.
I don't champion him as a defender.
And so many people miss that though.
Oh, for sure.
They only saw that KD hit that long 3 on Hood.
Yeah.
How did y'all let KD get that shot off? Yeah. No, y'all didn't see what happened before that. LeBron was on him.
I'm with you on that. He's had moments. He just has it's these isolated moments that prevent me from giving him the glory that he probably does deserve. But I'm a petty digger, so I don't forget about the Boston series when he quit in the 2010, the year he was leaving, when Boston was beating him and he just gave up game 5 or game 6. Him not being able to adjust to the zone defense on Dallas in the finals. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was just shaky to me.
Mike never quit.
Mike never quit. I'm
Never.
sorry.
Mike never. Mike gonna go out shooting.
He's gonna go out
Mike,
shooting.
if y'all not moving with Mike,
He would have
Mike
he
gonna
would have
shoot
at least
every
tried
shot
to
if
guard
he had to.
KD.
Yeah, he's never gonna go out
Yeah.
like that. I remember it was a game where Kobe.
Yeah. Just give him work.
No. It was a game where Kobe only shot 5 times. And that's Kobe. It's no.
Oh yeah,
way.
the game 7 against Phoenix where he decided not to shoot and,
Right,
and
it
then they
was
lost. And I'm like, what was that?
yeah,
Kobe?
like,
Come on, you're gonna lose the series just to prove a point? That don't make sense.
that was ridiculous. Mike will go out shooting if he 0-50. He's gonna go out shooting. He's not gonna sit up there.
Yeah.
It's just certain things.
Yeah,
and certain
generationally,
mentalities.
I've learned to say, you know what? I don't want to do LeBron versus MJ anymore because generationally it's not fair. They both could probably do well in their eras. I'm not gonna. I think just because the league is more physical, LeBron would have still got his shit because he's just that dope. But and he is the best in this era. But if you wouldn't have had to cap a number at who's the number 1 of all time, if we have to do that, I wouldn't give it to LeBron because of moments where he didn't show up. And there's just moments you need. Even if he has some game
just
winners,
that killer instinct.
the instinct isn't always there, and I have to fault you for that. Even if you do 40, 10, and 10, the moments that matter, it's like where were you, bro?
But the killer instinct too. It's like the killer. That's why I'm
because he should have been doing this his whole career.
But everybody don't have that killer to close out the game. That's why it's not far fetched, believe it or not, to imagine that Cole could possibly come back.
He said zero chance though.
Right, but it's not far fetched because of the simple fact that if Cole had people that's gonna want to play Cole, the only thing that defeated Cole was the fact that he didn't get more rings than Mike. That's his only challenge.
That was left. The Achilles thing took him out. The injuries the last few years.
Right. But there was other injuries on top of that.
Right. Yeah, he had broken fingers. He had
And now think about this. I don't know if y'all seen Cole. Cole is in shape.
Yeah, he never stopped working out.
And all of his injuries is healed. He been out for what?
A year. This is his first year.
No,
2 years. I'm sorry.
Like 3.
2 going on 3. 15.
So all of them nagging injuries is healed. So if the reason why they
want him to come back, don't you?
That'd be dope. But I'm gonna tell you why, because they 20 years and no, he hadn't healed. Mike sat out for what, 2 and came back and ran off 3.
Yeah.
And if Cole need defensive people, Rondo will play D. All Rondo want to do is pass the ball.
Yeah.
And he'll play D.
Yeah.
LeBron, he don't mind not scoring.
He don't.
Right? He don't mind not scoring, right? Lance Stevenson love to play D.
JaVale protect the paint. He gets blocked.
JaVale want to rebound and block shots.
Yeah.
He got people that will play that aggressive D with him.
Right.
So it's not too, but he'll close out the game. LeBron would be happy to pass Kobe the ball to close out the game.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. So it's not far-fetched. I wouldn't think it's crazy for they looking at his age like, nah, Cole mentally, he too much. Remember, he left with 60.
He got to go out guns blazing.
The message that he sent was, I'm leaving because I want to leave, not because I got to leave. That's what that 60 really said because
50 shots.
but it was within the game. He needed it.
And won the game.
Like the game was close. It wasn't like it was a blowout and they were just.
He brought
the
him
game
back.
Was close. The game was close.
Yeah.
So
that was an amazing game to watch.
And everybody talk about 50 shots, but them shots had to go in though.
Yeah.
For him to get 60, he had to make the shots.
And he made them when they counted.
Right. People say that though. It's like they said that.
Yeah, we're gonna go a little long today.
That's fine. I ain't got anybody else.
Yeah, that's dope. But people say about the Yankees, how y'all buy all y'all players and this and that. But regardless of what we do, the players still gotta perform.
They still gotta perform. A-Rod had monster regular seasons and was choking in the playoffs. And then he finally, and I think even in the 2009 World Series, he didn't have a great one, but he played well in certain moments.
Right.
Where we needed him to show up to get us the game and win that World Series in 2009. Man, I'm having a ball right now. You know what? We're going to have to splice this episode up into 2 parts, so y'all going to have to get the second half next week. Y'all just going to have to wait for it.